Hi guys, welcome to Let's Go Fishing. And there's a lot of guys that is asking about the type of gear that we are fishing with. Let's start with the rods. I've got a couple of sets of rods that I like to fish with, and the reason behind the madness why I've got different rods. My favorite rods are my 10-foot rods. So I've got a set of 10-foot rods that is parabolic action, 2.5 pounds test curve, and that I use basically extensively for close fishing, short range fishing up until say about 80-85 meters. I don't fish 5-pound line on those rods. I fish a 5,000 type reel. I don't have specific reels that I fish on them. I've got various sets of reels, but I fish a 7 to a 10-pound line on that rods. I don't like to fish 5-pound with it, mainly because they can throw further, and I know sometimes I'm a bit lazy to take out other rods, so I don't want to fish 100 meters with them, because then you're forcing the rod, and the rod is not made to do that. So when it comes to the second set of rods, I've got a set of 11-foot rods. That's a bit more stiff, bit more backbone, and those I can easily fish up to 110 meters. Now, there's people that will say, listen, but the difference between a 10 and an 11 is really that much. Yes, it is really that much. My 10-foot rods, they've got short handles. They're designed for short range fishing. My 11s, they've got a bit longer handle at the back, and I can easily, even into the wind, I can easily get to that 110, and in wind still conditions, I can easily get to that 115. I only fish 7-pound line on those rods. Again, I combine them with a 5 to 6,000 type reel, which there's nothing in particular that I prefer. I just prefer a reel with a proper line lay, double handles, something that's balanced. Then it comes to the 12-foot rods. 12-foot rods, I fish the 12-foot 2-piece matrix rod with a stiff point, simply because for me personally, for my build, there isn't a better rod. I combine them with 6,000 or 8,000 reels. I fish 5-pound mainly on them. I've got some of the spools I've got spooled up with 10 pounds, mainly for when the barbel are on the bite. It's that type of setup that I can do anything with. I can even use it for big carp fishing when we go to rhodocoppies, especially big carp fishing on the casting side of it. So those are basically the 3 rods. 10-foot slim parabolic, 2.5. Then my 11-foots, they've got a 3-pound test curve, and then my 12-foots, they've got a 3.5-pound test curve. With my 12s, I can reach any distance that most people can reach with longer rods. I think when it comes to rod selection, look at your length, look at your build, look at the power you've got to your that you can use. It doesn't help for me, for instance, to take a very stiff 13-foot rod. I can't throw them. It's just as simple as that. And I've come to learn that by testing a couple of rods, every person has got a comfort zone. So get your comfort zone when you select a rod. When it comes to reels, it's a lot easier. Let's take a quick look at the reels that I use. I basically use 3 different brands. So on my 10-foot slimline rods, I use the Daiwa BR25 Baitrunner, which is an awesome little reel. Then on my 11s, I use the Raging Bull 7000. That's the old one, the black one. And the main reason for that is the shape, the size of the reel. It just fits the rod. It gives you everything back that you put into it. Then on my 12-foot rods, Shimano 6000, 8000 Baitrunners, either or the XTs or the Aeros. It depends on what I want to do. But those are the basic reels that I use. All of them has got a perfect line lay, and that's something that's very important when it comes to casting distance. Sort out your line lay. A lot of people struggle with the line lay. If you just Google it, how to move the washers on the top of your spool, you can sort out the line lay yourself. I also get a lot of questions about the type of line that I use. Now, there's basically two types of line that I use, two brands. Extensively, I use XX in most of my competitive fishing, but I also use Iron Power. And what I like about the Iron Power line is it is a durable line, especially if you go from the 0.181 upwards. High strength for the diameter, but XX value for money, and confidence wise for me, it's just the line that I've got the most confidence in. The Iron Power has grown on me the last 2 years, and I'm using it more and more and more, and there's basically no difference between the two lines. When it comes to leaders, there's basically two leaders that I use. I use the XX high vis, the yellow one, 18 pound, that is the 0.36, and no, the fish does not care if you use a white, a pink or a yellow one. I always say when it comes to the leader, if it's on the bottom, the fish can't see it. Even in a clean dam like Rietvlei, where the water clarity is very good, it doesn't matter. And then the second one I'll use is the Extreme Abrasion, which is also XX, 0.36, which is 24 pounds, but there I use the brown one. Mainly for carp fishing, when I'm throwing bigger weights, that extra poundage is just something that is awesome. I think it's important that when you select a leader line, make sure that the knot you make is small enough to go through the eyes. A lot of people on the cast will throw off their lines, and it's not the leader that breaks, it's not the main line that breaks, it's the knot hitting the eyes, and then the line separates. When it comes to the end tackle, I mainly use Rietvlei traces in bank angling. That is the trace that catches the most fish in South Africa year in, year out. So that is my main trace. Hook links, 7 pound, Extreme Abrasion, the brown one, nothing else. Even when I fish bank angling for those big carp in rhodocoppies, I just use one hook then, but 7 pounds, that's still the line. The shaft line is 24 pound high vis, the white one, also XX. It's just the perfect line for that. Then when it comes to swivels, I always try and use a number 14 swivel, power swivel preferably, and there I will use either the ones from Sensation, or I will use the ones from Jackal. The other ones, the only other thing that I use are the links on the line, and it's basically because I can interchange the weights, and the weights that I use are different ones. There's not a specific one. I mainly use M0, M1, and seldom I use M1.5, but the last couple of months I've been using the M1.5s a bit more. So those are the main three weights that I use. No mess, no fuss, Rietvlei traces, 30 centimeters long, hook links 10 centimeters. That's all I do. There's a lot of people that often ask me, listen, have you got old tackle that we can get, that you can donate or something like that? And the answer is short and sweet, no. I don't get sponsored. The tackle I've got is tackle that I've built up over years. I try to take care of my tackle. I look after it. So everything that we have, I buy. I haven't got any tackle sponsors at the moment. And it just gives us a bit of freedom to use what we want when we want. But I must say, in these difficult economic circumstances that we are in now, we might be looking at a tackle sponsor pretty soon. Guys, thanks very much. I appreciate the questions. Send some more questions for us. We will answer them as we get time when we go out to shoots. Thanks for the support on the channel, and please tell your friends about our channel. Hit that subscribe button so when we drop something new, you will be notified via Facebook on it.